Hey y'all, it's Couch here. In this TidyTuesday video, we're going to be continuing my series on dashboarding. Specifically, we're going to be comparing Flexdashboard with Shinydashboard. But before I start this video, I want to say that my Q&A video is coming up in February. So I have a link in the description where you can basically submit your question that you want to ask me for that video. I'm getting a decent amount of responses, which is great. So I'm looking forward to doing a Q&A in the future. So when I was looking at RStudio's website, I saw that they have an example for Flexdashboard and Shinydashboard. And I thought that was kind of interesting because if I was a new Shiny developer, I would kind of get confused about which framework I should be using. I primarily use Shinydashboard because I just started out using just base RShiny, and then I wanted to do more dashboarding. But what's interesting about Flexdashboard is that it actually uses R Markdown. So it's essentially a template for R Markdown, which then can be used to create like a dashboard. So I think that's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna basically create the same dashboard using Flexdashboard and Shinydashboard and see what are the main differences when you're actually developing these products. Okay, so for Flexdashboard, we're actually gonna create an R Markdown document, and then from template, you have to click on Flexdashboard, and the template will come will be available if you install Flexdashboard. Right, so you have to install that package as Flexdashboard. Okay. So I think what's kind of cool about I'm gonna this. I think what's kind of cool about Flexdashboard is that it's pretty user friendly for just people starting out, because we have this area that can kind of be used as like our our little sandbox or workspace area. So I'm just gonna open up the PalmerPenguins, the Tidyverse. I'm also gonna include the GG Ridges package, which is a package that I've been using the past few weeks, which I really enjoy using. So we're going to bring in the Penguins dataset, and then we can just look at what we want to work with. So we've used this dataset beforehand, and nothing has really happened to it. So we're just going to stick with this. If we actually go down, we can see that we have, some little headers. So we have like a column that's saying that for this column, we're going to have a chart A. For this column, that's this width, we have chart B, and we also have chart C. So let's actually start creating some charts. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for this one. Let's actually do actually use the GG Ridges package. So what I'm going to do is I want to compare basically each species distribution for the continuous variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select minus island and minus sex. I'm going to do a pivot longer. And then I'm going to do a ggplot. And we're actually going to do the backwards. So x equals value, y equals name. And then we can do gm density ridges from the GG Ridges package. We also want to do fill is equal to species. And we can see our first problem right here is that these features are on different scales. Luckily, what we can do is use the scales function. So we'll just group by name, mutate value is equal to scale value, and then we'll just ungroup that. That way we're basically standardizing it so we can actually do some comparisons. Cool. I'll say alpha is equal to 0.2, maybe. Let's do 0.7. Yeah. And then what I will also include is the theme legend dot position is equal to top. Cool. So this is gonna be our first chart, and I'm just gonna put it in our chart A. Oops, I'll put that later. And then what we're also gonna do is maybe just do a simple box plot. So select minus island minus sex, pivot longer minus species, group by name, mutate value is equal to scale value. I know I could reuse this code, but I figured I can just do it right now. So, and then what we'll do is just do a simple box plot, which will be name y equals value fill, or we'll say color is equal to species, and call a box plot. Cool. And then in this case, I'm actually not gonna. I'm gonna actually, yeah, I'm still gonna include it. So theme legend.position is equal to top. Cool. And that is gonna be our other plot. And finally, what I'm going to do is with our df, we're just going to use these factors. So I'm going to say df count species, island, sex. We'll drop any NAs. And maybe we'll do, okay, yeah, maybe we'll do ggplot. Actually, maybe I won't even include sex. Yeah, I'm not going to include sex because I don't think sex can really be dependent on the species, because generally there's to me like relatively even, especially if they're the same, penguin. They're just a different species. So I'm not actually going to include sex. I'm just going to do island so we can see if there's any differentiations with species and islands, which I think there should be. So I'll do island and fill is equal to species and a column chart. Cool. And then I'll do like maybe a position is equal to dodge, right? Cool. Maybe we can actually switch that to island, see how that works. And that instead of position, we can just do top like that. Yeah, I actually kind of like this one. So what I'm also gonna do is I'll say I want to convert this to a proportion chart. So I'm gonna group by species. And then I'll just say n equals n divided by sum n for each species. So that way we're getting the proportion of islands for each species. Right, there you go. And we'll put the legend to the top. You know what, we'll even do a scale y continuous. Labels is equal to scales. And I think we do label percent. Yes, like that. Cool. And that will be our other chart. I'm gonna call this TidyTuesday Flex. I'll say Penguin Flex Dashboard. Cool. And now let's just run this, I believe. And then what we can do, I guess, is the run this, right? See if we run all the chunks below. Oh, actually, yeah, I forgot this. I have to do the runtime. So runtime Shiny. And now what we can do is have this run documents. Pop that up. And we have our simple little chart. I might make it actually a little smaller than that. So I'll do like 500. I think these guys can be probably what, 400. Okay. I guess that's fine. I kind of want to change that though. Oh well, I think with formatting, I'm fine with not really doing a lot of formatting, but let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. So data width. Also do labs x equals y equals, and I'll do labs y equals x equals. And what else do I want to do? And then again for this one, I'll probably remove the labs. So labs y equals x equals. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine. So I created this little static document, but it's not really like an interactive dashboard. It's not like something that is really utilizing RShiny. Right now, this could really just be an R markdown that's been rendered out to an HTML document. But what we want to add is interactiveness. So with adding interactiveness, what we need to do is basically say column dot sidebar, and then copy this thing in. And now what we have is a sidebar. And I think this should run if I just run it. Now we have like a sidebar, but what we need to do is actually put a select input. So what we're going to use is do a select input. And what I'm going to call this is v species. The label will be called species. And your choices will be, let's say all Adderley. Yeah, I want to make sure count species. Just okay. So we have that. Let's see here. What's going on here? So we have all Adderley, and then chin strap and gen 2. Then we'll do chin strap and gen 2. Okay. Yep. And then what is it? Selected will be all. Okay, let's run that. Okay. So now what we want to do is actually add some interactiveness. Oh, I just exited that out on accident. So TidyTuesday. Flexdashboard. Okay. Sorry about that. So with the interactiveness, I'm thinking that we should just put the interactiveness on this chart right here. So for that, we actually have to add in a render plot and then put in our ggplot object inside this, even though it's still being contained inside this code chunk. Okay, so now that we have that, what we can also do is we can do we can just do a little filter for it. So in this case, we'll say filter species is equal to if else. Actually, we'll say str detect species, and the pattern will be if else input v species is equal to all. It'll just be blank, else it'll be input v species. So this is a trick where basically if we select all, it'll look for no letter and we'll just keep everything. If it isn't all, then I'll just select whatever is in the choice. Let's see if this actually runs. Oops, str detect species. Okay. Input filter str detect species. Input select. Oh, that these. There you go. Spelled that wrong. Okay. Okay, so right now we have all. Switch to Adderley, filters to Adderley, filters to chin strap, filters to gen 2, and we can see how the distributions are changing, and we can go back. Okay, and then right there is our dashboard. So I know I was going pretty fast just because I knew really what my plots were gonna be, but what's really cool, what I think is really cool about Flexdashboard is it's like its name. It's an extremely flexible dashboard that if you're coming from like an R Markdown sheet where you're just doing an EDA and you want to present it to someone or share it to like a manager, it's pretty easy to convert those results from an R Markdown document to a dashboard using Flexdashboard. I will say what's also really nice about it is it comes with these like predefined little templates. So we have them next to each other with a column A, column B, and column C. Additionally, it's pretty organized because it's contained in all these chunks. And adding in and doing all the formatting is pretty easy because it's already predefined for you. So let's actually do this now in Shinydashboard. So I'm gonna do a new file. I'm gonna say right there. I'm actually gonna go back here and I'm gonna go to Shinydashboard, get started, copy and paste that in. I'm also gonna load in this. So one thing that I really like about Flexdashboard is that we can also, I'm gonna do TidyTuesday, Penguin, Shiny dashboard. Is that it has this nice progression to it. So when you're coming from, let me check that. So when you're coming from like your EDA that's in a a markdown document, you want to show a manager it. So you convert that EDA into a Flex dashboard. The manager loves it. So then you want to create a fully fledged dashboard. It's very easy to integrate Flex dashboard into Shinydashboard. Okay, so let's actually do that. So title is equal to let's say Penguin Shinydashboard, and then our input will just be I think was a select input, right? And then we have all these things, which will just be render plots. So let's say right there, I'll say output, and I'll say penguin ridges, render plot penguin ridges. Okay. And then for this chart, I want that. I'll just say output penguin box. Render plot. Put that in. And finally, we'll just do this, which will be output penguin column, give it a render plot, and paste that in. Okay. And then what we can do is, I guess, say fluid row. And in this case, I'll just say what penguin box plot output penguin ridges. And I'll do box, and then we'll do another plot output. And then we have a penguin box, and then a penguin all. So let's run that and see if it works. Oops, what did I do? No. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Penguin render, penguin box. Oh, spelled output wrong. Oh, did I not? Oh, and then I forgot my DF of penguins. Okay, so we have this, and then we can switch that to Adderley, chin strap, and we have a fully functioning plot that we basically took from our Flex dashboard. Obviously, with Shinydashboard, we have a little bit more control with it because we can move these boxes. We do modules and stuff like that. But I think after kind of playing with Flexdashboard, I think Flexdashboard is a good dashboard to just always think about using. And then when you actually want to do Shinydashboard, that's when you can start doing these, granular issues, where you can add more filtering functions. You can add more like plotly stuff. You can really upgrade that dashboard. But if you have to decide between, Shinydashboard and Flexdashboard, I would probably recommend just using Flexdashboard first. And then if you see that, Flexdashboard has some constraints, just copy and paste all of your, code chunks into a Shinydashboard, and you'll get a dashboard pretty quick up and running. So I know this video was pretty quick, but I think it shows how user friendly Flexdashboard is with Shinydashboard, and how they both are really easy to integrate with each other. And I really don't see any reason to ignore one framework or another. I think both of them are relatively easy to learn, and if you know how to use one, it's really easy to learn the other. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week, and tidy on.